Well, YouTube is quite clearly coming for Rudy Giuliani, and unfortunately, Rudy Giuliani is giving them ammunition to do so. Viva Frei, Montreal litigator turned YouTuber, and this is Winston the Westie. How you doing today, Winnie? That is his perpetually angry face for some reason. It looks like he's having wind blown in his face. Okay, he wants down. YouTube is quite clearly coming for Rudy Giuliani, and Rudy Giuliani is unfortunately giving them ammunition to do so. And before anybody misconstrues that as me saying Rudy Giuliani is getting what he deserves, let me clarify a little bit with an anecdote from one of the best movies ever made, Colors. For those of you who may not know, Colors is a classic 1980s movie about gang wars in California starring Robert Duvall and Sean Penn, and it was made at a time when violence in movies was violent. Robert Duvall was the veteran cop who was training in the rookie cop Sean Penn, and at one point he shared an anecdote with Sean Penn, which I'm going to clean up for the purposes of this video. It is a crass analogy, but it's an interesting analogy that has stuck with me since having seen the movie. Sean Penn rushes down to an incident to bust up the incident, make the arrests, and in so doing scares off all of the gang members, and Robert Duvall says to him, "Let me tell you a little story about a Papa Bull and a Baby Bull." Baby Bull and Papa Bull are walking through the mountains when Baby Bull looks down in the valley and says, "Look at all of those cows, let's run down and procreate with one of those cows." To which the Daddy Bull says, "No, son, let's walk down and procreate with all of them." It is a crass analogy, and the language used in the film was the uncensored language, but the idea here is that if you want something, don't charge down to get a little bit of what you want. Take your time, bide your time to get all of what you want. I do not support or condone in any way the overt political censorship that we are experiencing on YouTube as a platform. I don't condone the soft censorship that leads to self-censorship on the platform, but the way to fight it is not to go everything blazing and giving them every reason on the earth to take you off that platform. And that seems to be exactly what Rudy Giuliani is doing on his channel, giving YouTube every reason on earth, legitimate reasons by their known rules now, to just simply take him off the platform. Forbes, Rudy Giuliani temporarily suspended from YouTube over election F-word allegations. That's right, people, there is officially a new F-word on YouTube, except this new F-word is actually more dangerous than the old F-word because this new F-word can get your content taken down, can get your channel taken down, whereas the old F-word, if it's in a song, it can just get you trending. We are living through such Orwellian times that there are non-offensive words that you cannot speak on YouTube for fear of triggering some sort of algorithmic robot that might give your channel a strike, take your content down, or even worse. And I can just hear some of you out there screaming at me through your screen, "Hey there, you cowardly Canadian, just say the damn F-word." No, I will not say it. I will play by the rules to get my message out there. By Allison Durkee, Forbes staff. Top line, YouTube removed content from Rudy Giuliani's account and temporarily blocked it from uploading new videos Monday after the Trump attorney violated policies that prohibit users from alleging widespread election F-word in the presidential race. And the obligatory disclaimer for the YouTube algorithmic overlords, I am not expressing any opinion here. I am just reading an article out of Forbes. Luckily, I did all of my live streams on the subject before YouTube implemented this policy, so the information is out there. Now I am just relaying what other mainstream media outlets are reporting. I am just relaying it with some analysis, a touch of humor, and hopefully a touch of insight. Key facts. A YouTube spokesperson said Monday the company had removed content from Giuliani's channel because it violated the platform's presidential election integrity policy, which bans, quote, content that advances false claims that widespread F-word errors or glitches changed the outcome of any past US presidential election. Can you believe this? And can you believe the euphemism of a title they gave this policy, the Presidential Election Integrity Policy? Because the only way to ensure presidential election integrity in a free and democratic society is to prevent people from questioning how it went down. And not just the 2020 presidential election, any past US presidential election in American history. And I've got to ask you something. How did you only pick presidential elections? Why not gubernatorial elections? Why not senatorial elections? Why even stop at US? Why not just make it worldwide? I've got to tell you, YouTube, there are some dictators calling and they want their policy back. So to put it mildly, no, I do not agree with this policy, but I will abide by this policy because it is the rules of the game on YouTube. I would just like to say that the easiest way to confirm what people are believing is to prevent them from talking about it. To paraphrase an old expression, I'm going to get it somewhat wrong, but when you cut out somebody's tongue, you do not prove that they are wrong, you just prove that you're scared to hear what they have to say. That being said, while I disagree with YouTube on this particular policy, it seems that Rudy Giuliani broke another well-known policy on YouTube. YouTube also removed content that breached a sale of regulated goods policy prohibiting, quote, content facilitating the use of nicotine. For those of you who don't watch Rudy Giuliani's channel, you may not know what they're talking about. For those of you who have not read a certain $1.3 billion defamation lawsuit lawsuit against Rudy Giuliani. I did a video on it. It was demonetized. Rudy on his channel sells cigars, which, if you don't know, YouTube has specific rules about selling certain regulated goods, and I have to say, rightly so. And just to highlight that particular provision of the terms of use, it reads as follows. Ow. Content intended to sell certain regulated goods and services is not allowed on YouTube. If you find content that violates this policy, report it. What this policy means for you, if you're posting content. Don't post content on YouTube if it aims to directly sell, link to, or facilitate access to any of the regulated goods and services listed below. Making the sale of these items or facilitating the use of these services, possibly by posting links, email, phone number, or other means to contact a seller directly, is not allowed. Alcohol, bank account passwords, stolen credit cards, or other financial information, counterfeit documents or currency, controlled narcotics or other drugs, explosives, organs, endangered species or parts of endangered species, firearms or certain firearms accessories, nicotine including vaping products, and the list goes on. So it would seem that Rudy Giuliani was clearly breaking at least one well-known rule on YouTube, that you can't sell regulated goods, including nicotine products, which includes cigars, and thank goodness that YouTube is looking out for the children. YouTube is always looking out to protect the children, unless you know it's a song called Fefe that was trending that received 952 million views, and that there was full advertising on with no censorship and no warning labels. If you have never heard this song, I would say go watch it, but it might really make you nauseous. Go Google the lyrics to this song. It will blow your mind. And not only is there advertising on that video, there's advertising geared towards young people. I actually made a vlog about this at the time that I never published, just because I thought people might construe it as being too puritanical. I have no problem with swearing music. I have no problem with violent movies. I watch them, I listen to them. But the fact that this song was trending on YouTube, fully monetized, with no warnings whatsoever, accessible to children, that just seemed a little incongruous with some of other YouTube's policies. The platform issued a strike against Giuliani's channel that, quote, temporarily restricts uploading or live streaming, end quote, the company said in a statement first reported by Bloomberg. Giuliani was previously issued a first strike in January when YouTube temporarily suspended the lawyer from its partner program that allows users to monetize their content. Under YouTube's strike policy, Giuliani will now be barred from posting content for 2 weeks since he received a second strike within 90 days of his first, and his account will be permanently shut down if he violates YouTube's policies a third time within a 90-day period. Giuliani has not yet responded to a request for comment. Now, being a lawyer and a vlogger, and that is a VLAWGER trademark pending vlogger, it being a mix between vlogs and law, hence vlogs, when I heard that YouTube issued a statement, that piqued my interest a little bit, and I had to go see what that statement was. YouTube suspends Rudy Giuliani again for elections F-word claim. YouTube said it suspended Rudy Giuliani for the second time in 2 months after the former New York City mayor lied again in videos that the 2020 presidential election was stolen from former US President Donald Trump. Giuliani, who sought to overturn November's results as Trump's attorney, will not be allowed to upload new videos for 2 weeks. YouTube also cited Giuliani's promotion of nicotine for the action. Quote, we removed content from the Rudy W. Giuliani channel for violating our sale of regulated goods policy, which prohibits content facilitating the use of nicotine, and our presidential election integrity policy, end quote, a YouTube spokeswoman said in a statement. Quote, additionally, in accordance with our long-standing strike system, we issued a strike against the Rudy W. Giuliani channel, which temporarily restricts uploading or live streaming, end quote. And to further illustrate why censorship typically is a bad idea, the article then goes on to conclude with possibly the best free advertising for YouTube's rival, Rumble. The former politician has accused YouTube of bias against conservative and also posts his videos to the website Rumble, which has looser content moderation policies. Well, Rumble, when you see a spike in new users today, I guess you have
YouTube and Bloomberg to thank for that.
Now, why would YouTube's public statement pique my legal interest? Well, I just did a video breaking down the defamation lawsuit that was filed by the computer guy in the Hunter Biden story, who broke the story to the New York Post. The New York Post wrote an article on it. Twitter blocked that article and branded the computer guy a computer hacker, and he sued Twitter for defamation. He sued Twitter for defamation because of what Twitter said was the reason for blocking the article, for branding this guy a computer hacker, and he said that is defamatory and I am suing you. And in that lawsuit, before Twitter even filed an appearance in that lawsuit, the judge issued an order to show cause why the plaintiff's lawsuit was not barred under Section 230 Communications Decency Act immunity. So I was interested interested to see the public statement that was issued by YouTube to see if it potentially crossed what might be the same line that was crossed in Twitter. And unfortunately, no, I don't think it crosses that line because I think it's a generic enough statement, and it also is somewhat factually correct, at the very least as relates to the nicotine aspect of it. I strongly suspect Rudy Giuliani does not care if he gets kicked off the YouTube platform. I suspect part of him actually wants it because it would be a notch in his belt, a feather in his cap. It would be a point made. But if you're going to make that point, don't give them legitimate reasons to do it. I loathe censorship in general, and I especially loathe the political censorship on YouTube. I think it is totally unjustified, and above all else, I think it's totally counterproductive because you actually don't succeed in doing anything other than reaffirming the belief in the people who are so censored. That being said, I have no doubt that Rudy Giuliani probably broke the rules as to what you're no longer allowed to say on the platform as relates to the 2020 presidential election or any historical US presidential election, but he did not need to give them the good and justified reason with respect to the cigars. You do not prove a point by cutting off your nose to spite your face, by removing yourself from the platform where you had a voice, when you could have voiced that voice in a less breaking the rules kind of way. At the very least, that is my humble opinion, so take it for what it's worth, but at the very least, now you know some of the other rules and regulations on YouTube as a platform, so in a way we can all sort of learn from Giuliani's mistake. But this type of political censorship does not solve any problem, it only exacerbates the problem, and in general, I prefer to know what my enemies are saying as opposed to preventing them from saying it so they just go somewhere else to say it. And with that said, be sure to tune in tomorrow where Robert Barnes and I will be doing a live stream with Dave Rubin. We'll be talking about his book, Don't Burn This Book, other issues along these lines, and every Wednesday for the month of March, we're going to be doing live streams with very interesting people with very interesting things to say. So if you like my videos and you like my content, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, drop a comment in the comment section below because it feeds the algorithm.
Tina, you fat lard, come get some dinner.
If you want to support the channel, all of these support links are in the pinned comment. Robert Barnes and I do live streams every Sunday. All of my content is also on Rumble, so you can go follow me there. But more important than anything else, take care of yourselves, check in on friends and family, make sure everyone around you is doing well, and now you know your vlog. Peace out. Booyah.